So yesterday we got the start of our game going on, which is right now just a character with simple inputs. Today I'm gonna be trying to get all the animation for it. I know that's a bit bold, but we're gonna see if we can get facing left, facing up, facing down. We got facing down, facing right, and then the alternating of the animation. Because I feel like if the character is more responsive, I'm more likely to... It's just funner to develop when your character is looking somewhat finished, right? So let's see how far we can get with that. Let's... I'm gonna pull up for reference. I'm gonna pull up all of this because this is the kind of template I'm gonna be using. You know what? I've got that saved, so why don't we just go into Sprite? Not that. Okay, we're gonna go. Okay, so this is our guy. I'm gonna change this a bit. I don't like how his hair kind of is so blocky right here. So let's get... Yeah, something like that. I don't know if that looks weird with a white. I just don't like the hard black making such a I don't know, I just don't like the hard black line. That's looking a little weird. This one kind of rounds out, and this one I think should. Maybe something like that. For now, I'm gonna just go like he's got like a whole tunic brown here. So if this is our new frame 1 of facing down, let's go ahead and save it. Now we're gonna want, let's open our link sprite sheet for reference here. Oops. Okay, so it looks like I can't tell if that's like double the amount of sprites we need, right? Well, no, it is different. I'm trying to determine the difference between this one and this one. And I can't really tell. Let's take a look. So these should all be 16 by 16. So if we add a new layer here, I don't know the proper way of doing this. There's gotta be a better way to do this. I'm trying to align them so I can tell the difference. So if we turn off Archivos, there's link 1. So let's pull that other one and see if there's any difference. Because there's some subtle kind of animation cues that I want to carry over to my game, just because they did such a good job with this one. So if we do a new layer, we could compare. There's got to be a better way to paste that in there and kind of size it, but I don't know it. Because we have to kind of guess what is exactly 16 frames or 16 pixels. Is that right? Yeah, okay, so look, we turn that on and off, and we can't see a difference. well. Okay, I really need to learn this program. Move tool is V, so V to scoot it. See, he's not even here anymore. Okay. So that looks about right. So there's that one frame, right? Here's the one underneath it. And if we V-tool to move this guy over, I just want to check, yeah. I don't see a difference. Okay, so maybe it really is just 2. Yeah, there's some weird coloring going on with this rightmost one. So let's just not worry about that. So for right now, I'm just gonna delete all these guys. So we need, and the thing is, we can mirror these two, right? So like left is the same as the right, just swapped. So we should only need a side-facing one, and an up-facing one, and a down-facing one. So, I feel like if we resize this one, we'd be better off doing it all at once. Then we don't have to resize it every time we paste it as a template. So, 16, let's just push these together. So that should be 32. Oh, and look, it's all mirrored. It's really all mirrored. We only need 3 pixels. We only need 3 sprites. Actually, no, not quite. Because if you look at the side walking one, his head dips down a bit. So like, look, his top here, there's a little gap here, and then there's a little gap here. So when he's walking, he kind of like, when he's walking to the side, he kind of bobs up and down. So I like that. So what is cool though is these two, this one can be flipped. So that one can be the mirror image of the other one. This one will have to have 2 unique ones, and then this one can be the mirror image. So let's go ahead and put our both back on. So we need to get the proper aspect or the proper atlas size for all of our sprites here. So 16 by 16, cool. So let's go to a canvas size. And we want our width to be 64. Because we want each one, we want facing down, facing up, and then facing side, bob and unbob. So we'll go ahead and take this guy. This will be our first sprite. Okay. So what I might do, I guess for the facing up one, make a new layer. And you know what? We'll label these layers too so that they're easier to tell. So like this is gonna be up. This one is down. Then this is link. Link down. Okay. So if we go to our up layer, which we have to select our down layer, copy. See, and this needs to be, we need to paste it on our up layer. Okay. What am I doing wrong? We copy this and we deselect and we paste it. Cool. So that'll be our sort of template for what up looks like, because if we swap to up, we want to make sure the general shape of him is the same kind of contour. But then we need the link face up as a reference too, just to, I guess we don't need it, but I like seeing it. So we'll do a new layer. This is link up, and we'll make sure we get him to be the right size. Maybe that. Does he really have a gap there? That doesn't look right. You know what? Maybe we won't worry about link up. We'll just do our own. We got enough reference. So let's go ahead and delete that. Let's get our side normal and our side bob to compare. So this will be side bob. What do we call the bobbing animation? Call it side tall. Oops. Yeah. Side tall and side small. So yeah, that looks about right. So there's side tall, and then this is actually link side tall for our reference. And then a smaller one, link side small. And we will put our small one here. And that's really important. That bob is really important. No. I don't get why it does that. That's not right. That's not right. See, that's not quite it either. It's like one smaller. Okay, that's not right either. It's looking more right, but it's still not. See how this one is a different height, and these two are the same height. So what are we doing wrong here? Okay, that'll be our reference, and we'll just make sure to make it one smaller. It's so jacked up, though. Why does it look so bad? There it is. That should be the right one. Okay. It's maybe a... No, I think that's okay. I think that's good. So we should be able to get away with just these 4. Now... God, the pixel art's really interesting on this, because you wouldn't think that that looks so good, but in-game it looks amazing. Like, see how he's got the colors kind of emphasized on his face even? That's kind of interesting. It's like if we were to mimic that and give us like just a bit of brown. Yeah, I like that. Maybe there is like an orange. Is the orange looking good? Maybe we stick with the brown for now. No, I kind of like it. Using different colors, so just kind of like looks like a little bit of makeup or lighting. I already messed up though, because that drawing we should have done on down here, so we'll do that. We'll make sure that that sprite is all on the same layer. Okay, so here is our up animation. So this is our kind of this is our up reference. And then we can give ourselves a new layer that is actually our up sprite. And then what we can do... Yeah, we need to copy this actually. Okay. So, and we just need to make him facing up. So the back of his hair can be flowy and red. So if we kind of keep this same general shape, but draw his hair as like the back of his head, it's already looking pretty good for the up one. You know, we shouldn't be able to see his hands, and we should maybe see the shape of his head just a bit. And I don't want to keep the exact same shape. I don't want to keep the exact same shape, because it gives it a more 3D look if his exact shape isn't the same colors at least. It might be the same general shape, but maybe... See, and I don't want it to either look... I don't want it to look like a bob. I want it to be kind of long and flowy. That might be too much hair. And then we can kind of add some shape here. You know? And then... See, it's like, where do we add black where it doesn't look... We want it to look like hair. Give it like a shape. But it's really hard to make it look good. Yeah, it's looking fiery. Maybe some yellow in there, or maybe some of this orange. Is that too much? Orange might be too much. Hard to imagine it. I think the orange is too much, but let's see what the see. See like one dot of black there on his hat? See, I don't like the general shape of it. It looks too domey. I mean, it looks like a blob right now, but we need to kind of give him an arm, and then his arm is kind of visible on one side too. So there's his visible arm, and then it's almost there, but what is it missing? Pixel art is really tough. I don't like the straight lines. Okay, it's getting close. Yeah. That's getting there. That's looking kind of good, right? I'm worried this is a little too dark. Okay, I like that as a starting point at least. Okay. Okay. I'm trying to figure out if there's a spot we can put this orange that doesn't look so forced. I don't really like that. Let's say that's good for his face up. And let's see about his left and down. So don't know how to move this. I don't know how to move this. So let's get this basic shape going. See, we don't want it to look like his a Link hat, but we want his nice flowy hair. Okay. Thinking his ears will peek out here. Don't want him to skimp on the hair, you know? But we don't want the hair to be lower than it is in the top profile, so maybe we'll call it there. Just don't like it square. And then we need his little hand. So on the sinking one, he's got a full hand forward, and then on his tall one, he's got a little bit of tunic showing up. So if this is Link tall, then we need his tunic showing up, so he gets a hand right here. Or one above it. Yeah, let's do one above it. Okay, so he needs a foot, right? So I want to make sure we're drawn on the right angle, or the right layer. I like this kind of brown, almost like a belt line or something. I mean, his eyes are the same height, so that's good. You know what? This brown isn't from the color palette. I don't know if... Should we stay true to this Link's Awakening color palette, or should we add this darker brown? Maybe we'll see what this purple looks like. Yeah, I kind of like the purple. Let's stick in the color palette as long as we can. He looks a little... I think he needs like one more part of skin here. Yeah, that's looking good. That's looking pretty good. Is his foot too big? Yeah, maybe his foot should be like that. Maybe there should be another brown peeking in over here. Yeah, I'm liking that. Yeah, that's looking good to me. Maybe... I like that. Okay, yeah, I like that. So let's go for the small now. So we know we need it to be at least 1 pixel smaller, and we'll shift most of his stuff down, and it looks like his foot, oh wow, look, he's got like this footstep, and then a foot down. So if we add this little footstep on the Link, actually, Link Tall is like not walking, and Link Small is the footstep, so yeah, okay, so his footstep. Okay. Okay. Oh, that should be on side tall. Okay. Okay, so for this one, I'm gonna copy this as like a template, put it on side small, and turn off our link side small. There we go. So we just want to make sure it lines up, so like the back of his head will line up with the back of this. And then, actually we should probably scoot this over just one. So there's 1 pixel of gap. Okay, so our small will have it so that he kind of ducks his head down, that 1 frame. And his hand will now be forward, and his foot will be forward, and his other foot will be visible. So we'll move his hand forward. His foot forward. and give him that back foot as like a step. Because if we look at this, he's got like a foot, a line separating his hand. His hand is a square in both, so we can't do that because we took away a pixel on his head to give him bushy hair. So let's see if a foot down there makes sense. Yeah, they really did. They really did just milk every pixel out of this design, because I tried to change it and it's throwing off the vibes. Let's give him... Make sure he's got some tunic here. His bottom pixel is kind of overlapping here. We'll give him that. Okay, no, I'm thinking the purple needs to be on the bottom. Very bottom line here. And then his hair should kind of change just a tad to add it, make it look like it moved, right? So like, maybe we move this black over down one, maybe. Move this black down, maybe change the shape of it, and then move that black. Yep, I'm liking that. Yeah, I like that. This is a good starting point, at least. The one thing I'm worried about is his feet being different level. So if we take a look at this, his feet, his flat feet, actually his feet do go a little lower. Oh, you know what? Yeah, it's scooted up. So once his... Let me take a look at the sprite thing again. So it looks like his head is aligned with the top of his head, and his feet come up just a bit, but his feet are at the same level. So let's see. Yeah, there we go. His feet are at the same level now. And then we can just give him the more shadow here. Yeah. Cool. Okay, that'll be our starting point. And let's add this orange to kind of highlight his cheek or something too. I don't know if I like that, but we can always take it out. So now we've got an atlas for our Kvoth. So let's go ahead and export this. First, we'll save it as Kvoth atlas. And then we'll export a PNG. And you know what? I think I'd like this purple on the side tall to be reversed with the brown here. So like, yeah, let's do that. Okay, we'll export it into our main part here, and we'll call it Kvoth Atlas. Okay, let's make sure it's exported right, because we don't want to import it if we've messed up exporting it. So Pix, Kvoth Atlas, and look how tiny it is. But it's got the transparency, which we're looking for. I like the purple a lot, actually. I think the purple really brings it together. Oh my god, it does look like Link on the side there. It's the nose. It's the nose that makes it look like Link, but I'm totally okay with it. Okay, so we've got our atlas, so how do we import it? We go here into our main, and let's make this a little bit bigger, and full screen it. And we need to put it here. Oh, you know what, we'll put it with our player class because it's part of the player, so player class. What we'll do is ascribe a self.atlas to be a love.graphics.newImage to be a drawable, and we will pass in the path, which is source pix, and it is both atlas.png. So an atlas is what we're calling the whole sprite sheet for it. And what we'll do is we'll make a viewport that is a quad of this atlas. So we'll, instead of this Kvoth 1, we don't have that anymore, but we're gonna do a self dot. No, I think we want a local variable. We'll call it Kvoth, and it's a love.graphics new quad, generate quad. Is it a new quad? I think it's generate quad. Let's see if we can do this, and we'll check the documentation after. But we need to give it the atlas as the first drawable. So that's that. And we'll make it at 0, 0. And then its width and height is our self.width and self.height. So self.width and self.height Now, we can test and make sure this is working. We're no longer trying to render our Koboth 1. We're going to be rendering our Koboth, which is now a quad of our atlas of all of our pictures. So let's see if that's drawing the same thing. We need graphics here. Generate quad. Okay, it might be new quad. Number expected. Bad argument 1. Number expected. Okay, we're gonna have to look at the documentation. Let's go and say love 2D quad. And actually this new quad is what we want, I think. See, I thought, oh, the texture is after. The texture is, I'm getting mixed messages here. Here it's saying that the fifth argument is the reference width, but this is saying it's the texture. Let me take a look real quick at how we do it for Joust. We have a self.image. Maybe this wasn't the best to do it because we're not setting the quads here. Do we set the quads in what? Our ostrich class? So look, we get an atlas. We give the atlas to be our atlas, which we're kind of assigning here instead, so. Here, this new quad, yeah, we do 0, 0 width, height, and then the atlas dimensions. But where is it? Where is it actually getting the texture? Oh, it's... We kind of give it there. Let's just see if that'll work. We'll give it an X, a Y, a width, a height, and then a self.atlas get dimensions. Okay, it doesn't like that. What am I messing up? We've got an atlas. I don't know what it's wanting. It wants a number, but our number is a self.width. Oh, you know what? We're doing it before we assign our self.width, so let's change that. Bad argument 5, number expected. So let's go back to our dimensions. We'll say self.atlas get dimensions. Drawable expected got table. On argument 1 to draw on 31. Okay, so yeah, instead of drawing the whole atlas, we're drawing the... No, yeah, we... Okay. So we've got the atlas, but we want to draw the quad of it. Oh, I think we have to say atlas and then quad. And then we can draw it. Is that right? Texture. I don't know why I'm having so much trouble with this. We've got an atlas. We're trying to make a quad of that atlas. Let me double check what do I do for Giles, because why? See, look, we're getting a sprite, and it's a quad, and it's a 0, 0 width height. Self.atlas get dimensions. Now, our self.atlas is just then we just draw the spawning sprite. How do we render this? Oh, we gotta set the viewport. Okay, so the quad is just the whole quad, and then the viewport will kind of slice it. So I think that's what we're missing, because the quad is a table like it kind of alluded to. So maybe we save this as both quad. And then we want to slice it, so we want to not draw this, but we want to set viewport. And then we give it the atlas. And then we give it the quad, which would be both quad. X and Y width and height. Okay, what am I doing? Set viewport. We have to set viewport on the actual quad. And we and you know what? I think we have to do this in our update function. And then we draw I don't know. I don't know. I think we set the viewport, and then can we draw the quad? And we want to give it the quad that we just set the viewport to the first frame, and then an X and a Y and a width and a height. Totally messing this up. Yeah, it looks like we set the viewport, and then we can draw. Oh, here's what we do. We have to give it the atlas and then the quad, and then X, Y, then rotation, then scale X, scale Y, then the width of the quad, I guess. So if we do the atlas first, then our quad, then our X and Y with the height, and then I think we can get away with that. No, we can't. Why does it not like the self.atlas as the viewport here. It says bad argument 1 number expected. So I think it's, let's see what the documentation is for set viewport. It's an XY width height. So yeah, we're doing that wrong. Okay. We're not getting anything. It's because our viewport doesn't have the atlas, but we're drawing the atlas here, so I'm not exactly sure. Let's take a look at the documentation. Yeah, we literally set the viewport XY width height. Okay, but we don't get see what's weird is how are we telling it what atlas to draw along the quad? I think it's just right here. So like this atlas here is this main one. We're giving us a quad that is here. So if we wanted to draw the entirety of this quad, if we set the viewport to, I mean, this, I was hoping this would work. Because this viewport is wrong, right? If we don't do this, we don't see anything. So like if we just draw the atlas, and now we're not even getting our atlas. I'm gonna set this how I do in all my other games, which is just in our main, because that's the only thing I could think of that's messing this up. So I'm gonna say Kvoth gets a Kvoth atlas. Okay. Then in our player class, we're gonna say Kvoth quad. No. We're going to say self.atlas. Oh, and you know what? We're not even initializing our... No, I just deleted that line. So our self.atlas is going to get our Kvoth atlas. Okay, then our Kvoth quad is going to get X amount of details for that quad range, which is 1 quad of our atlas. Starts at the very top left. It's 16 by 16. And the full atlas dimensions are included as well. Then we're going to set the viewport on our quad to be the first frame. Then we're going to render our quad. We have to give it the atlas, we have to give it the texture, then we give it the quad, which is both quad, and then 0, 0 width height. We're still not seeing it. What am I doing wrong here? We're setting our viewport. I think we do. I really don't see what we're doing wrong. when we draw our joust stuff, we go love.graphics draw, we give it the atlas, which is our atlas, then we give it the quad, then an X and a Y. And actually we need an X and a Y. You know what? Yeah, maybe because draw takes in more arguments than I've been giving it. So it's texture, quad, X and Y. Let's get that first. Texture, quad, XY. Texture, quad, XY, and we'll put self.x and self.y. And then it doesn't take a width and a height, it takes in a rotation and then a scale factor. So I think we're shrinking it before we're even drawing it. So if we give it 0, 1, 1, hopefully we'll be able to see the first frame here. 0, 1, 1. So that's 0 rotation, a full 1 on the X scale, a full 1 on the Y scale. Yes. Okay, we got one frame working. So now let's give it some code to cycle through these animations. They're all 16 pixels apart, so we should be able to set our viewport according to a frame. So let's give ourselves a frame number and we'll set it to 1. And then in the update function, we'll just call something frame advance. And we'll say frame advance gets delta time added to it. And then we'll say if frame advance is greater than 1 second, then we're going to go ahead and change our frame. So we're going to say frame gets frame plus 1, but we only have 4 frames, so we're going to say if frame is greater than 4, then we're going to go ahead and reset frame back to 1. So if we give ourselves this frame advance and initialize it as 0, and then we go ahead and print up this frame advance, we can see if that logic is working right, and then we can adjust the viewport based on the timing. So, and I want to do a love.graphics.print, and we want to print a string that says frame advance, and we're going to concatenate that with toString our frame advance value. And then we give it an X and a Y, and maybe we'll be able to see frame advance. Okay. Frame, it's not frame, it's self.frame. Okay. So we've got frame 1, frame 2, frame 3, frame 4, and then that should be back to 1. So frame advance should get set to 1 there. Greater than, oh yeah. We just want to say, actually, yeah, greater than or equal to 1. Okay, so once it goes past 4, it should go back to 1. And it doesn't. So if frame advance is greater than 1 or equal to 1, we're going to advance our frame. If our frame, oh, see, and this is frame advance. If our frame advance is greater than 4, well, let's see, because we don't want it to go as soon as it's 4. We want it to be equal seconds. So if Yeah, anytime it's bigger than 1. Okay, so we want to see if it's bigger than 5. Reset our frame to 1. But then we also want to reset our frame advance. So we can say frame advance gets set back to 0. And now we should have it looping. 1, 2, 3, 4, back to 1. Or back to 0. Okay, so we want it back. Do we want it? Yeah, we want it from 0. We want it to be 0 to 1 is frame 1, 1 to 2 is frame 2. So we're gonna go and, you know, Fart Knocker, I'm gonna be doing a dungeon mode, kind of like this, kind of like a self-generating dungeon mode, and maybe I'll add an AI buddy to help slay monsters in the dungeon, but that's gonna be way far off. That's gonna be like the last thing I add. So I'm just working on getting the animation working. I'm gonna say greater than 4 because 0 to 1 is gonna be frame 1. So after it's frame 4, we're gonna go back to frame 1. And I want to make this a little prettier. We're gonna give this here, and then we're actually gonna math out floor this so it's nice and floored. And then frame advance 1, 2, 3, and then back to 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay, cool. So now instead of frame advance, we can just do self.frame and make sure that it's 1, 2, 3, 4. And if it is, then we're good to go start setting the viewports for a basic animation, but it'll be not right. What happened there? Self.frame. Frame advance is working. Oh, yeah, here. Maybe we don't need this equals. Yeah, let's see if that fixes it. Nope. Why is our self.frame going on the frets? We're only incrementing the frame here if frame advance. Oh, I see the problem. Yeah. Anytime frame advance is bigger than 1, it just adds a frame every single frame. So we need to advance the frame. I don't know. I mean, there's no one right way to do this, but you know what? Let's reset the. Let's kind of redo this. We'll say if frame advance is greater than 1, we're just going to go ahead and increment our frame and then reset our frame advance right there. So self.frame gets itself +1. And then we're going to reset our frame advance right here. So we only ever advance 1 frame at a time. And it'll just, we still have to reset our frame. So like if our self.frame is already equal to 4, or if our self.frame gets set equal to 5, which is too far, then we're going to go ahead and set us back to frame 1. Now that should be frame, it should say 1, 2, 3, 4, and then back to 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes. Okay. So we've got that. So we've got the frame. Okay, yeah. My bad, Mr. Fart Knocker. Mr. J Fart Knocker. We got to control the viewport now, because right now we're just setting the viewport once. Let's see here. We're setting the viewport once, but we want to set this to a different viewport depending on the frame we're at. So we want to go, we want to say what? If self.frame1, if self.frame is equal to 1, not assignment, then we're going to set our quad viewport to be this. So else if our self.frame is equal to 2, then we're going to set our viewport to be 16 over, right? And with the viewport, we want these to be kind of hard-coded at the self.width, self.height, just so that's a little more readable. And then our y is going to stay the same, but our x is going to be offset by 16 to be that very next frame. So let's see if we did that right, and let's see if we get, we should have frame 1, frame 2, nothing, nothing, frame 1, frame 2, nothing, nothing, frame 1, frame 2, and then it stays, and then frame 1, frame 2. Okay, that's looking good though. Let's go ahead and start our guy a little lower. Oops. Let's go 2020. And okay, so we got frame 1 and frame 2. And then we want frame 3 and frame 4, and then we can work on only showing those viewports depending on the input of the keyboard. So we'll set the viewport for the left and right, and here's where, and actually we've got to do a little trickery here because we're using for our left and right, we're flipping the sprite on the x-axis, right? So we're using the same two sprites to be the other two side sprites. Is that right? Oh, and you know what? I think we need more sprites than this, because we need a left step and a right step to make him look like he's walking. So let's just, what do we want to do? We do want to make this left and right step. We did forget about that, because we want a frame change to be if you're walking straight up or straight down. Otherwise it's just static, so we want him stepping. Let's just continue on, and let's just do the rest of the viewport sets, and then we'll worry about the stepping. So if our self.frame's equal to the 4th frame, then we'll set our viewport to be, so there's 16, and then there's 32, and then there's 48. I don't know what I did there. 48. Okay, so let's just see. We've got frame 1, frame 2, frame 3, frame 4. Okay, he's a total ripoff of Link, dude. The way I did his hair makes it look like the cap instead of hair. Yeah. But And he doesn't look like he shrinks. He should bob down. But he doesn't bob down. And I think that's because we aligned the top of his head. So I think we need to set the viewport to be one down on the smaller one. And maybe that'll make him bob. Okay, he bobbed the wrong way. Okay, he bobbed, but there was a weird pixel above him. And no pixel beneath him. Okay, I think instead of the... No, I think that's right. I mean, I think we need to shift its Y to start one lower, but then give its height. No, it should be the same height. But we might need a Y offset. So if there's 0, I don't know, if it's... We need to look up documentation on set viewport again. Is it a rotation? No, it's just a... Okay, well, XY with height. SH, SH, SW, SH for reference width. Okay. So maybe not. I think we need to change that in our atlas. That'll be easier and cleaner. So we do want like a left step as well. Like a left and right step for facing both up and down. I don't know if he bobs as much when he's left stepping. I think his feet just kind of jingle. So let's go back to our A sprite. We'll give ourselves 2 more frames. We'll go edit our canvas size. Oh, and you know what? No, we already decided this. We're just gonna flip it. We're just gonna flip. This is his left step, and then flipping it will be his right. So let's do that. Yeah, let's do that. And then what I will do, oh, look it. Yeah, he isn't bobbed down. Okay, I'm gonna shift link side small, or not link, both, my bad. I want his hair to be down like that, a little squished, because I like that he'll bob. We'll give him a little bit of top hair to work with, so he's not completely shrunk. I want him to just bob a bit. Yeah, and see, I want this to look less like a link cap and more like flowy hair. So we want I just don't want it to look like the link cap, even though I totally ripped off Link. Yeah, see how the hair kind of curves with him? So maybe something like that. That looks less link cappy. And then on our side tall, we can also shape it a bit. I don't really like that. I like it like that. Okay, so let's re-export this. Oh, where did we just shrunk it? No, we just shrunk it, and then. Oh no, we shrunk. Okay, we shrunk most of it. Okay, I think that might look okay. Let's try it. We'll export this over our current sprite sheet. It should be. If we overwrite it like that, then we don't have to do anything, and it's already changed in our game. But the thing here is we need 2 more frames. So we need. If we do like a thing here, we can say frame 1 is down left step. Frame 2 is down right step, so we need to just swap on the x-axis. That's stepping, and then Frame 3 will be up, left step. Frame 4 will be up, right step. Frame 5 is left tall. Frame 6 is left small. Frame 7 is right tall. And frame 8 is our right small. So let's just do this now. So frame 1 is, I'm just gonna snag all these cheat codes and then put them here. Okay, so frame 1 is there. Frame 2 should be the same as frame 1 in terms of viewport, but we give it a 0 on the rotation, a -1 on the X scale, a +1 on the right, or on the Y scale. Now frame 2 should be a mirror image of frame 1. And it isn't. Viewport, let's see the set viewport again. Yeah, it's different. Oh, we have to draw it. We have to draw it different. Because that doesn't take in. Okay, it's the same quad. It's the same quad. We just have to draw it. Viewport doesn't take in these arguments. We have to, and actually, yeah, okay. So we're setting the viewport to be the same as that frame 1, but, and here's where it's weird. We gotta, I don't want to have to say if it's frame 1, render that, but we kind of have to because we're swapping it. We're swapping it on the Y value, on the X value, on the X scale, rather. Okay, so if self.frame is equal to 1, then we're going to go ahead and render the quad as normal. Else, if this self.frame is equal to 2, we're going to do the swap on the X. Which should look like this. I believe if we add the -1 right here, it should swap it. Okay, it did swap it. It did swap it, but we need to offset it. I think the offset X gets its width here. Oh my God. Okay, so check this out. We can do, okay, we're gonna say if frame is equal to 3, reset it to 1. And then we're gonna say if frame in advance is 0.5, then reset our point. Oh no, that should be it, that should be it. I just wanna see it faster, yeah. Oh, that's cute. All right, look at him go. His hair is maybe a little too shifty. So maybe we make like, yeah, his hair's just a bit too shifty for my liking. Oh, that's really cute. Oh, he looks like a little monk. He looks like he's got the Franciscan robe on. That's okay. Let's see. Let's tweak his hair just a tiny bit. So like instead of this one going so low, let's have it not go as low. That might look better. Let's see. So we save this as... No. Export as. Same one, overwrite, and then now we load our game and it should have the new picture in there, so. Oh, it looks worse. It looks worse. Okay. Yeah, let's try to just make it a little more symmetrical. So I actually didn't like that these had the hard black outlines. So maybe we'll do that. Let's see what that looks like. He does look like a little monk. Not save as, export. Okay. Okay. It just looks like he's wearing like a tube. Looks like he's wearing like an inner tube on his head. I want it to look like hair, not like an inner tube, right? Oh, he's really cute. Yeah, he looks like he's got a... He looks like Toad. He looks like Toad. I don't like that. We want him to look like a man, not a toad. Let's add in some hair streaks. I don't know. Let's... Yeah, it's just too shapely. I mean, it looks too tubey. Let's have his hair go a little lower and be a little more shapely on this end. Is that looking less tubey? Like, I feel like if we add random, like, shape to it like that, it looks a little more... hairy? Oh, hey! That's kind of looking... That's looking less tubey. Yeah. To kind of shape it kind of like that. Hey, that's... Is that weird? That's weird, that's weird. Okay. But let's see how that looks. Export as PNG. Go ahead and overwrite. And then we'll go ahead and run again. Hey. Okay. His widow's peak, or whatever you call it, is shifting, which I don't like. If that was spot dab in the middle, and we made the blacks a little more symmetrical, I think we're in business. Oh, that's really cute. So yeah, let's get that that V to be symmetrical. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's right in the middle. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. It's right in the middle. So why is it not perfectly in the middle? Well, it doesn't look in the middle of his eyes, but oh, you know what? It's because there's no true middle of 16. We'd have to do something like that, and we can kind of fade like this, and then Let's make some of his dots here a little more symmetrical, like this. Yeah, let's try that. He does look like a little Franciscan. Export as Atlas, overwrite. Let's run. Okay, I like it. I like it. It's not perfectly symmetrical. Maybe that big dark spot, we ease up a bit, but that's looking it. Oh, that's cool. See how the two dots are now perfectly symmetrical. So I feel like if we just balance out that heavy black side on the side, this side right here, then it'll be better. Perfect. Let's see. And maybe, I don't know if that's too much. Let's see what it looks like that. I like the shapeliness of it. Okay. I like it. Some are symmetrical and some aren't. Like these two stay the same. Some of the shading in the hair changes. And then some of these pixels stay the same and then some don't. And it's got that flowiness to it. So, oh, that's really cool. Okay, so now we've got that. Wow, that looks awesome. Okay. So let's do the side animation now and make sure that's looking good. And then we'll worry about actually putting it to the inputs and then put it all together. So let's see left. Okay, so frame 5 and 6 is left tall. Let's start with frame 7 and 8 for right tall and right small. And we'll get that going. So we'll need to fix this. But we can go ahead and try for frames 7 and 8. So else if we are at our frame 7, I really don't know what I just did. What did I just do? What? Okay. We're gonna say our frame 7 would be our right tall, and actually we might do left first because left is the direction he is actually facing. Yeah, let's do left. Let's do the left facing first. So that should be 5 and 6. So we'll go 5, and it is the third index. So it is 30, 16 times 3, 40, 48, 30, 30, 32. What? 16 times 3? God, I'm dumb. It'd be 48. No. Yeah, 48. 48. Okay. So that's that one. And then the next frame is the same quad, but we have to flip it on the x-axis when we're rendering it. So we say else if our self.frame is equal to 5, then we're going to go ahead and draw and not flipped. So we got our viewport, and we don't render it flipped. Now, we can tidy up this render logic a bit when we got the frames right, but for right now I'm just trying to get it to work. Then we can make it look pretty and function better, but we're going to render our quad and see, we can make this code shorter and more efficient after. I'm just trying to get it to work. So our frame is 6. Then we're gonna flip it on the x-axis. So we're gonna say -1. And then we need to, make it so that we're only frame 5 or 6. So we're gonna say, hey, frame, you're actually on frame 5. And we're gonna say, hey, you're gonna increment your frame unless it is equal to 8. And then you're gonna set it back to 5. And then maybe we have, okay. So not quite, we need to shift it. We need to do the offset is what we forgot. But we also need to say, hey, if you're frame 7, go ahead and get back to 5. Booyah. So we need the offset. Okay, we need the offset. Oh, and you know what? We don't need to flip. We don't need to flip it. We just need to change it to the next one. We need to flip it if he's facing right, but for both left ones, we don't need to flip it. So, yeah, we don't need to flip that, but we do need to set this to be 1 more, so that's 62. Why am I so bad at multiples of 16 math? 64. I mean, you would think, it's, computer science is all about those powers of 2. Okay, so we need to not flip it. Oh, we are flipping it. So why am I missing it? 0, 16, 32, and 48. So this one should be 48, right? This one should be 48, and this one should be 32. Is that right? Yes. Boy, yeah, he doesn't bob. He doesn't bob at all. His head just gets... Okay. Yeah, we need him to bob. We'll keep the same... Yeah, we'll redo this. He needs to bob. So, what we'll do is we'll take side small. Actually, we'll take side tall, copy his head over, and then put it on side small, and shift it down 1, and then we'll erase anything outside of it. Let's just see what that looks like. It might be a little... Well, we'll just see what it looks like. Let's export as our PNG atlas. And we'll go ahead. Okay, yeah, there's some duplicate pixels there. That's looking much better though. There's some duplicate, what I really want to do is before I paste the head, I want to erase the head. Okay, now we'll go to side tall and we'll take his head, and then we will paste it over here, but 1 lower. And we actually want his chin as well, so we'll just make sure to grab his chin. Yep. And then we'll paste it here. And 1 lower. Okay, let's see how that looks. Much better, yes. Oh yeah. Oh yes, that's it, that's money. It's totally ripped off from Link's Awakening, it totally is. I mean, there's only you got 16 by 16 pixels to work with. There's only so many shapes that look like a human. And it's inspired by Link's Awakening, so it's okay. It takes little inspiration. Okay. I want to change his hair a bit so it doesn't look so flat. I want to give it some movement. So he'll have on side tall, we'll go like maybe that. And then on side small, we'll move it down. Maybe. Yeah, let's see how that looks. Ugh. I don't like it. Looks too random. They should be mostly the same shape, just like 1 pixel off. It looks a little too random. So if we redo this, we want these two, instead of being, we want those two, and then we want these 3. It's not quite there. I feel like if his hair drooped down a bit more, that would be okay. But we should have that mirror pixel right here still. So let's see how that looks. Okay, almost there, almost there. I don't like his hair going down that far. So let's undo that. Oops, okay. We'll undo that. We'll give him that dark hair in the back, and then let's see how that looks. Totally looks like Link. Totally looks like Link. I wonder if we give him a bigger nose. See, if we give him 1 more pixel of a nose, then he doesn't have a nose at all. It's just the limitations of being this small of a artwork. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, I don't like how this part isn't changing. Right there, that part isn't changing. So on the lower, we need to lower his dark red, and then we should be in business. So lower the dark red here, and then maybe that's it. I think there's a way to do this in Sprite now that I'm thinking about it, but I like it. I like it. His hair doesn't look flowy like I want it to. but I don't know how to change the shape of it without it looking weird. So that'll be good enough for now. That'll be good enough for now. So let's flip those and make sure we've got walking left and walking right. And then we'll be good to get going on the rest. So we've got 7 and 8. And they're the same viewport. The same viewport as these other two. So that should be right. But we need to render them both flipped. So we'll go 7 and 8. And 8, and we will add the -1 on both of them. And we will go in our logic up here and say we can start at frame 5. Let's go all the way up through frame 8. I don't know. If it's frame 9, we're actually frame 5. Okay. Cool. So those two, we just need the offset so that's in the same spot. So we'll give it, do we give it a negative offset? What just happened up here? We gave it an offset. Oh, you know what? We're offsetting this when we don't need to. We're not flipping that, so we shouldn't need the offset. And our offset's already in place for the other one. So that should be it. Yes. Look at that. Nice. I'm kind of thinking when he walks down, his hair should kind of bob down too, just a bit. Our stream got disconnected. I'm gonna see if I can redo it. I don't know how that works. If I just start the stream again, if it's still going. It looks like it started too. That's okay. We're not done yet, so. Let's get rid of this. Where did our love game go? Okay. So I think we should make his hair bob a bit. When he goes down, like maybe his hair comes down just a bit extra. I don't know how to make that look good, but no, it loses all that. It looks so bad. It loses all that shape to it. Okay, redo. Okay, it needs to be very subtle, very slight. We just need to give it like a pixel there and a pixel there. And maybe these are the dark red pixels. Let's see how that looks. It might work. Since it loses the black outline, it doesn't look so natural. It should have that black bottom part still, but it cuts into shit. Let's try that. Yeah, let's try that. Nope. Export. Yep. Okay. Doesn't quite do it for me. Yeah, it doesn't quite do it for me. It's because it's missing the shape here. Maybe that. That might work. I had it right, and I canceled it. Okay. Nice, nice. Okay, okay. Now I'm gonna see what it looks like looping just on the one direction there, so we can see if I'm liking it. So if it's 7, go back to 5. Nice, yes. And it should be a bit faster than that ideally, but let's say that this is 2.5 and we reset frame advance there. That's maybe a bit too fast, but let's go ahead and put a variable here. Nice. Okay, I also feel like on his down one, he should get one more pixel, like his hair's falling on the bottom there. And I think that would look nice, like one more red pixel right here. Yeah. And we will export that. And that'll probably be it. Ugh, I don't quite like it. Maybe that black pixel should move to the other side? Like black pixel now on this side instead? Does that look weird? See, no, I kind of like that because it kind of like, it adds some volume to his hair when he's kind of bouncing. Maybe, yeah, maybe just a dark pixel in the gap there, and then we're good. So like, yeah, right here, that dark pixel. Yeah. And then I think that's good. Oh, it's looking good. It's looking real good. Kind of want his hair to kind of come down. Yeah, maybe something like that. I kind of like that. Let's see how that looks. Oh, I did that in the wrong layer. Let's make sure we're on the down layer. We do such things. It's amazing what difference one pixel makes on this. We'll export it. Okay, let's see. Nice. I like it a lot. Now, I want to see the front pixel now that we changed that. So let's go ahead and set frame to 1. And we will say if frame is 3, frame is now 1. Yeah, we need to make it symmetrical. It just looks a little too weird. So if we are still on down, we just make this symmetrical. We should be okay. Nice. Cool. He really does look like a monk, doesn't he? Okay, well. Okay, so now we've got all the frames we need. So now we just need to control what frames we're on and which frames should be cycling depending on what directions are being held. So let's go ahead and we will set these viewports, or actually we will set just the frames based on what we, I don't know, actually. I don't know. I feel like we need to, if nothing is down, okay, here we go. So we'll turn off all the frame advanced logic for now. And what we'll do is we'll say, we'll put, see, and this is tough because we have to handle multiple inputs. So we kind of have to have like a facing. Whatever the last thing we press needs to overwrite our value of whatever direction we're facing. And then we can set the sprites determining which way we're facing. Gosh dang. Yeah, how do we do this? Let's say how do we do it? If how do we do it? We want to do something like, we want to track which way we're facing so that we can trigger the animations, but we only want to trigger the animations if we're holding it down. So maybe we don't even need to do that. Maybe we just need to say, if right is down, go ahead and set the appropriate frames. Let's see what happens if we hold right and left down at the same time. Nothing. So if that happens, we should probably show, I don't know what, but let's just try it here. We know that frame 1 and 2 is our down. So let's do our down first. And we'll say frame 1 and 2. And we're setting it there, so we need to just set our frame. So we'll say if love.keyboard is down, we'll get a self.frame equal to 1. And then we will do our logic, our frame advanced logic. There's gotta be a better way to do this. Right here. And we'll say, you know what, we'll go ahead. Yeah, I feel like the first thing we want to do is flush our frame advance. And then we're gonna do all of this stuff. And we're gonna up our frame, and then if we get 3, we go back to frame 1. So if is down, we're setting our frame. And then we can say something like, otherwise, if down is not held, then, well, no, this is why I was thinking we needed the last facing direction. We needed to keep track of what direction we're facing. Okay, so that's not quite shifting it. We're setting our frame to 1. We're setting an frame advance to increment, and if our frame advance is above a certain thing, we go ahead and advance the frame, reset our frame advance. Let's see what our frame is. Just ever 1. I'm not sure how to do this so good. I think it's because we flush it right here. So like if we don't flush it, maybe it'll change. Okay, well, there's that. Doesn't quite work. Because we're setting our frame to 1 right there. Okay, so maybe we go about this a different way. Maybe we do it based on velocity. So like if we have a dx or a dy, do the stuff. Let's see. So for right now, I'm just curious if we do frame 1, frame gets 1, and then if up, if we say self.frame gets 3. Let's see. Nope. Why is that not working? Oh, we took out our frame 3. Okay, so we need that back on. And we need it set to the up, which is the 16. Oops. And 4. Okay, so this should be 16, and then this should be 16. But the difference is for 3 and 4, which we don't even have rendering for, we need to flip it. So we'll say 3 and 4. And we will not flip this one and not offset this one, but we will flip this one and offset that. Now maybe, look at that. So we've got not the animation, but we've got, somewhat of an animation. Okay, so let's do that same thing for right and left. Okay. All right. So if right is down, we're going to set our frame to frame 7. And if left is down, we're going to set our frame to frame 5. Look at him. Look at him go. We still need to normalize our vector. We still need to get animation working. But this is a good start. So like, that's awesome. Okay, so I think instead of setting the frame here, we'll do a Boolean called like walking left or whatever. And if it's walking left, then we cycle through those frames. If we're walking right, we cycle through those frames. So what we can do is instead say walking right gets true. And then we'll say we need a walking left gets true. And then walking down is true. Walking up gets true. Okay, and then down here we can say if walking left, then we want to not be walking any other direction, first of all. So we can say walking up is false, walking right is false, walking down is false, and we set our frame, self.frame, to be equal to 5. But not quite 5, we want it to be 5 and then 6, then 5 and then 6, and 5 and 6, so need to do that. But walking left. Okay, let's instantiate all these as false, including walking left. Okay, and then let's just see if we're walking left is true. Okay, so once we're walking left, we never unwalk left, so we'll do this for the other ones as well. So we want to say, okay, if we're walking right, then walking right is actually true. Actually, we already said that, so we just want walking left to be false. And then we want our frame to be right, which is going to be 7 for now. And then let's do walking down, or let's do walking up. So we would say if walking up, then we are no longer walking right. That would mean that we are frame 3. And then we're walking down. Then we are no longer walking up, and our frame is going to be frame 1. So let's see if that's working. We're only doing walking left. Walking left overwrites everything. Oh, and that's because we don't want to do this. We don't want to do this. We don't want to do it. Let's try taking this all out. We do need to flush those, though. Okay. I don't know. I think we want to flush them here. So maybe we do this and we say we instantiate them all as false, all the other ones as false, so that only the direction we last pressed is going to be true. Really? Okay. And then how did I decapitalize everything in one fell swoop? Okay, walking up is true, and then everything else is false. Cool. So now if it kind of has the last direction, but now if it's down, we want to advance our frame. Okay. If it's down, oh, and you know what? We didn't do our animation for our walking up right step, which is a frame 4. Yes, we did. And we didn't flip it. So we need to flip it right here on the x-axis with an offset of a self.width. Excuse me? Okay. Okay. So we've got our walking left. Now, instead of doing this, we can't just set it to this. We need to start counting our frame advance. So we need to say frame advance gets itself plus delta time, and if frame advance is greater than, let's say, 0.5, then we want to, well, yeah, we can say else set our frame to 5. But if frame advance is greater than 5, set our frame to our other walking left, which is what? Walking left, 5 and 6. 5 and 6 is tall and small. 5 and 6. So we've got, we're advancing our frame rate advance. If that variable's greater than 0.5, we're frame 6, otherwise frame 5. But then if it's greater than 5, if it's maybe we can check first of all if frame advance is greater than 1, and if it is, then we reset our frame advance to 0. Else if we're bigger than 0.5, go ahead and set us to frame 6. Maybe. Did you see him walk left? It's so cute. Okay. Okay. So it should be faster than this. Let's say it's 0.25. Yes, 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 yes. You know, it looks like it's on 6 way longer than 5. So what's going on there? Oh, yeah. Greater than 0.05 now. Yes. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, we might want to flush that to the left so that its hitbox goes totally flush. We could change that in the rendering, but I don't think I want to do that. Let's see. Yeah, because it'll mess it up on the right. Let's see. Look, if it's flush on the right, then if we shift it to the left, it's not flush to the right either. Okay. He's like 1 pixel shorter on either side. So maybe we give 1 pixel of leniency. No. It's like we don't want to fix it just with rendering. We want to fix it so that the game knows he's not touching what he isn't supposed to. But let's get the rest of this working because we're so close. So I think we need to reset our frame advance. Oh God. We need to reset our frame advance based on a new facing direction, so we don't carry over animation frame rates, I think. So anytime we press, we can't do that, we can't do it. We can't do it. We can't reset it. We can't reset it. Otherwise it would reset every frame. So let's just see what happens if we just build it out like this. So we're gonna do the same thing. We just need to put the appropriate frames in here. So we're gonna be frame 7. This is walking right, so what are the 2 frames? Walking right is 7 and 8. So we'll go 7 most of the time and 8 if you pass the threshold. And then let's see if walking right. Oh my God. Oh my God. Look how cute he is. Oh my God, he's so freaking cute. Okay, down and up. Down and up. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Okay. And down and up is going to be what? Wait, where are we at? We're at walking up, which is 3 and 4. So it'll be 3 and it'll be 4. And then walking down is going to be 1 and 2. 1 and 2. Let's see. Here we go. Oh, yes. Dude, his little... That looks so good, dude. Oh, that looks so good. Yes, yes, yes. What happens if we hold both directions? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. He walks even if we hold nothing. So at some point I'll build a keylogger out here so you can see what keys I'm holding down. Because yeah, if we're not holding anything, we need to just be at the last frame we were at, which is a little hard to do. Because right now, whatever the last button we press, oh, you know what? All we have to do is say if we're not holding down any of those things, all of our walking directions are false. So we can say, if not love.keyboard any direction and any direction, you know? So if we go here, we say, if not love.keyboard is up and not love keyboard is down and not keyboard, oh god. Okay. And not love that keyboard is down left and not love.keyboard is down right. Then, so if nothing is being pressed, then we are not facing any direction, and that should leave our viewport unchanged. I'm hoping. So we would not be walking at all. Let's see. And you know what? I think I want him to default to standing. You know, I don't want him to be in that crouch position if we stop on it. So we can say after we flush all that, what would we say? We can check for our walking right and left, and we can say, by the way, if we're no, we can't do that. We can't do it. You know, if we're facing, maybe before we set this, we can say if we're walking right, then go ahead and set our frame to something before we flush it, and then else if we're walking left by the time we aren't pressing anything, then we're gonna so what's the tall right? Tall right is gonna be frame 7. So we say frame 7, else if walking left, then we're gonna be self.frame gets what? Left tall, which is frame 5. So frame 5. Okay. So first thing we do once we aren't getting any input is saying, hey, if we were just walking right, go ahead and set us to the standing animation. And if we were walking left, go ahead and set us to the standing animation. Then flush all our walking directions so we no longer adjust our animation. Hopefully that'll do it. So I'm going to try to stop on a crouch, and he went right back up. Cool. Now there is I don't like that the frame advance see, and he should this is looking awesome. I don't like the see, I don't like that we can touch left and it won't always shift right away, because see, I don't like that he can scoot like that without moving. I don't know how to fix that right now, but this is good for entertainment purposes, I guess. I don't like that our frame advance is advancing by delta time and we're resetting it so that, like, on different intervals we would be changing it. I don't like that. I kind of want it so that anytime you press it, you know what? Maybe on frame right and left we start with down, the squat. No, that's not. Well, yeah, because how come? Yeah, let's start on down instead of start on up, and it defaults to up, so that's fair. So let's say that when we press left and right, or if we're walking left or right, we actually swap these two. So this is 7 and this is 8. And then if we're walking left, we swap these two. This is 5, this is 6. Now I'm hoping he'll squat even when we tap it. Doesn't do it. See, I don't like that he can move without moving his feet there. I don't like that. He should look like he crawls consistently. That's the way we do the frame advance. Does that mean we reset? I think that means if we reset our frame advance the instant we press the button. So like, if we reset our frame advance to be equal to 0, if we reset our frame advance to be equal to 0, the instant it was pressed, but only once. How do we do that? Like, what do we press right? Like, how do we say, oh, you know what? We can say if our frame advance is greater than 0. No, we can't do that. We can't do that. No, yeah, we can do that. No. Yeah, maybe if we're greater than 0.5. What's the threshold here? If it's greater than 0.5, we're back at 0. So if it's greater than 0.25, we go to the other frame. So we can say, hey, if we're greater than 0.25, go ahead and reset us back to 0. If we're greater than 0.25, then set us back to 0. Oh, that messes up things. That messes up things, I'm sure of it. Oh? Actually, that's the fix we need. Wait, no. Yeah, look. It does get us the hopping every time, which is what I'm looking for, but it doesn't work if we hold it. So I kind of understand the problem, I just don't know how to fix it. We want, and maybe, all we do is reset our frame advance to 0 right here. If nothing is pressed, we set our frame advance to 0. And that should do it. Nice. That's exactly what I'm looking for. Yes. And then, see, I want the same thing here. He shouldn't go that long without walking. So, how do we fix that one? Well, do we just swap it? Oh, that's because we have a default standing position. So if we have a default standing position when no things are being inputted, then all we have to do is make sure that the very first frame that we switch to when walking somewhere is the opposite frame. So we'll do this. We'll say else if walking up, if we were walking up at the time of us pressing no buttons, we want to do something. And if we're walking down at the time we're pressing no buttons, we want to do something else. And the something we want to do is set our frame equal to frame 1. And walking down is what frame? Walking down, left step or right step? It should be left step is frame 1, and then walking up, left step is frame 3. So we'll say frame 3. And then now we need to make sure that when we press the button, we alternate, we assume the other frame than this one. So if we're walking down, we want this to be 4, this to be 3. And if we're walking, we're walking down, we want this to be 2, and this to be 1. Okay, that hopefully should, so if we tap it, we get the walking, like, we don't get that standing still anymore if we just tap it. Okay. So if we just gotta make sure we don't face up when we're not holding anything, which if we're walking up, wait. If we're walking up, what am I messing up? We're walking down, this is frame 1, this is frame 3. Nice. So now we have it where we can scoot like that. And walking up is a scoot. Oh my gosh, he looks like a little ninja star. Okay, we still need to normalize that vector for the diagonal movements, but look at this guy. Look at this guy. Look at him. That's awesome. I don't know if I like, he still looks like a Franciscan to me, so the purple might go, but he is awfully cute. I might make his hair come down 1 more pixel or so. Because right there, well, I don't know, it looks pretty good. And then both directions, he just kind of walks in place. I don't know if we want to fix that. Let's add that to our notes. We don't have our notes harpooned, apparently. What we will do... Oh, look at this. Oh, we didn't do that. Oh, we didn't do that. We didn't do that. Okay, well, let's add what we did do, which was add walking animations. Now, we need to add... we need to prevent walking when multiple inputs held. And then we might need to increase borders so that Kavoth can walk all the way to each side. And then we want to normalize diagonal walking vector. And then okay, that's a good start. We did get quite a bit done. We've got our little guy here. Shows which frame we're on when we're walking. We have a default frame if you're not pressing it, and it remembers which direction you were last facing. I like his walking up animation. He looks mad. It's like, oh, I'm gonna come and get you. Yeah. That's really cool. I might take away one tan pixel on that to give him little, because it looks like his fist is out, you know? It looks like he's ready to sock somebody, so we might change that a bit, but it's looking good. Okay. So yeah, tomorrow we'll work on probably preventing him from walking in place if you hold more than one direction at the same time. And then maybe normalize the vectors, because then most of the character walking will be done, and that's a huge part of it. Because once we're happy with this, then once we're happy with drawing tiles in the background, then once we figure out how to move tiles and travel, then it's the super fun part of like designing the levels, adding the boundary boxes, adding NPCs, all that fun stuff, which I haven't done any of, so it'll be fun. It'll be tough, but it'll be fun. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Thanks for watching.